Okay, welcome back to part two of whatever you want to call this video. It's dealing with child discipline or lack thereof. Uh, in the first video of this particular topic that we're talking about, we saw and we talked about a little bit of Netflix Jeffrey Dahmer, about the medications that he was exposed to before birth. Also, one of the victims, um, medications that he was exposed to before birth that caused him to be deaf. And I'm using a lot of medication terms because those were the reasons as to why um, Jeffrey Dahmer's father believed that he was a little dysfunctional, although um, he had some of the same urges that he admitted to growing up as well that Jeffrey Dahmer had. Also, some of the videos and some of the commentary that I received from part one of the video, that part one of the video, there were a lot of questions and comments about, they need medications and things of that nature. So I did a follow up video. This was almost 2 years ago, and I just wanted to share it with you. It pretty much is self explanatory. I don't really have to go into detail. This is totally for your thoughts and your information only. So we'll go ahead and begin there. I just wanted to do a recap of what happened today. There have been a lot of comments in the description box. So I just felt like I needed to get on here and address some things that comments that were in the comment section today. Just to give you a little bit about myself, today is December the 31st, and this is technically the end of the westernized world calendar in terms of 2020. But I wanted to get on here today because of the incident that I recorded earlier today about the little boy. And this was not the first time within this week that I have seen a child acting out of pocket with their parents. I was at the Dollar General down the street from my house the other day, and this little Latino boy, he wanted a toy. And his mother, I guess, was ignoring him and refusing to get him this toy. So he was in the middle of the aisle, and he started having a tantrum. And the tantrum didn't last 30 seconds, 1 minute, 2 minutes. This little boy had a tantrum from the time we waited in line all the way to the parking lot, where he blocked the doors, how the doors open and shut. His mother couldn't get him outside of the door. And so I literally had to take my buggy and go around this little boy. And this little boy had to be about 4 or 5 years old. And so I could get in line. And my thing is, first of all, I would like to say, whether you believe in God, whether you believe in a higher power, you have to believe in something, or you'll fall for anything. That's just like me getting ready to go to California and I don't use my GPS or my maps. I have to have some type of guide to guide me on where to go. It's the same thing with our children. I love our people. I love people, period. I don't care what nationality you come from. I love people. But I especially have a sore spot when it comes down to my very own people, because I know what the struggle is, and I know what traps are set up out here for us. I would like to also say that I do a lot of research. In my spare time, I am researching. I am not only researching what's actually going on in the world, but I'm also coinciding what's going on in the world with what I believe my Bible tells me. And I'm talking about the entire Bible. So with that being said, I know a lot of people commented on the video today, and they said, oh, well, he might need to be on medicine, which the officers were on their way. The boy was actually 8 years old, the little boy. And the officers did have to take him to a mental institution. Let me tell you what I have learned about that. Now, I do understand that some people have chemical imbalances. I'm not discounting that. But there is a scientist. Now, this particular YouTube video that I'm about to share with you, it has been taken off of YouTube, but I do have a copy of it. Because the information was so potent, because this scientist, a world-renowned scientist, he was a Caucasian guy, and he said, I had to be a whistleblower. I have to tell black people the truth about what's really going on with the pharmaceutical companies. If y'all can remember, before Big Pharma came into the picture, our ancestors, our forefathers, they had to rely strictly off the land for healing. Some of my grandmother's recipes I use to this day. And I personally, only do home remedies and natural medicines because according to my belief, God told me that he created the herbs and the plants and the seeds before he even created man. So he gave us everything we needed in this earth to heal ourselves. And I believe, I just don't use my mouth to say I believe in God, but I let my actions speak for me. You can believe whatever you want to believe. You can believe in whatever higher power. You don't have to believe in a higher power at all. But I'm telling you what works for me, what has gotten me through, and what is getting me through. And I can honestly say that I'm living the best life that I ever have lived because I'm doing things differently. I had to break the cycle of the curse that was laid upon me, and I had to learn a different way. With all this being said, there is a documentary on YouTube. Like I said, it has been removed, but I do have a copy of it. It's called The Scientific Extermination of Blacks. The Scientific Extermination of Blacks. This scientist goes into detail about what happens when we vaccine our children, what actually occurs to their mental. And he compared it to a white child versus a black child. It's something within our blood. We have a very, very unique, special type of blood. We are all equal. I'm not discounting that. But there's something about our blood. If you take notice, we have to wake up. Stay woke. If you pay attention, where are all the plasma centers? Where are all the plasma centers? Now, for our plasma must be good and rich. But for our plasma, which is basically, which most of the people who profit from these plasma companies, the plasma people get anywhere between $1,200 and $1,600 for your donation of plasma, but they'll pay us $50. But they put it into our neighborhood because it's something about our blood. It's something about our plasma that is able to heal. We are a special people. So when we put synthetic things inside of our bodies, it affects us differently than it might affect other nations. I'm telling you what I know. So when we sit up here and we say, oh, well, it's mental. If you take notice, and another thing, if you can watch Dr. Sebi's last interview, I think the guy name was Rock or something, but he was on that interview and he specifically said, when I cured my 13th AIDS patient, he said, I wasn't concerned about going to Congress or going to these different places. He said, I wanted to go to the black leaders. Our black leaders. I wanted to go to them and let them know that, hey, I can cure cancer, I can cure lupus, I can cure AIDS. But he found out when he approached our black leaders, he found out that they weren't in authority to share that goodness with us. And if they do try to share that goodness with us, they wind up falling off the face of the earth. T-Boz, Dr. Sabi, and so many others. Because they have information that they are not allowed to tell us as a people. But they will tell us what they want us to do. They have been bought to the point where they will say, okay, let me share this with whatever the pharmaceuticals, whatever society and the powers that be want, or how they want us to operate. They will share that with us. So I've noticed that a lot of our black celebrities now, if you take notice, wake up people, they are pushing this mental illness. Not to say that we don't have these issues, but a lot of things that we have when it comes down to mental illness comes from the fake synthetic drugs that we have put into our bodies. Period, point blank. Our bodies are not equipped to handle foreign substances within our bodies. We have a very unique makeup, and we can't put everything in our bodies. But as soon as a baby is born, what does the nurses and the doctors do? They ship them off to the little area where they can pump. And I wish that I knew then when I had my daughter what I know now. But you know what? Because of grace and mercy, and because he protects us from seen and unseen dangers, I don't have to worry about that, because now and then we are covered by the blood. But what I'm saying is we have got to stop passing off behaviors to mental health. And we have to be accountable and take responsibility for what's going on within our communities. Period, point blank. We can sit up here and blame all of these things. And the easiest thing to do is for me to go to a doctor so they can write me out a script. And so the child or the person mental can just be locked where they looking like a zombie. They just zombied out. They just stuck. They just stuck. You know, and I can tolerate them better. I don't have to deal with them. I don't have to face the real issue because their brain has been locked in through a strange substance. Wake up, people. Hello. It's time to wake up. It's about to be 2021. We have got to wake up. We are in a westernized world. I don't care how much y'all want to march and fight for justice. Let me tell you something. We were not invited here. And even though we were born on this soil, doesn't mean that it is still our soil. And we are in a system. They have been very successful in tearing down the black family, in tearing down the family structure, period. So now they have they've taken the father out of the home. Because if you have a good father and a mother, the father is the disciplinary. It's supposed to be the disciplinary, the one who sets the stage for the house. And the other rib, which is the woman, they're supposed to touch and agree and meet on how the children are being raised. We don't have that today. So now we have a lot of single mothers, and I'm a single mama myself, but we have a lot of single mothers that just don't want the headache of having to raise what they call back in the day ill-managed children. I laid down to have that child. It is my obligation. When I laid down and I found out that I was expecting at that point in time, I had to change the way that I thought about things. It was no longer about me. It was about my child and what I have to do to better my child and what I'm going to have to do to make sure that my child has a good quality of life. And I hate to say it, but I love my people, but we are selfish. It's all about me. It's all about how I look. It's all about how I dress. It's all about the shoes on your feet, the new cars you drive. As soon as you drive it off the lot, it depreciates. So when going back to the subject, when everybody say, well, the boy may need some medicine, the little boy might need some medicine. I wanted to cry today because I knew that the police was taking him to a mental place where they're going to dope him up some more. We don't know what type of effect that those chemicals are going to have on that boy. But that's what we go to. Let's get him some drugs. Let's poison him even more. When there's healing mechanisms in the earth. When the only thing I have to do is spend a little time with that boy. Let him know that he's loved, but also make him accountable for his actions. There's nothing wrong with me whooping my child. And I told that in front of police. There's nothing wrong with it. Because if I love them, I'm going to train. And in order for me to train, sometimes when you take a tomato plant, you can't just plant the tomato seed and just let it grow. What do you have to do? You have to put a stick or something behind it in order for that vine to grow upright. Same analogy, people. A fighter, a boxer, he has to go into the ring. Not only does he go into the ring and just start swinging, but he has to make sure that his diet is right. He has to go and he has to train, shadow boxing, jumping jacks, all of this stuff. And it don't feel good while you're doing it, trust me. But then when he gets into the ring and he's put in that work, he's able to now perform. And let me show you what I'm working with. Same analogy, people. There's nothing wrong with whooping your kids. Discipline. I'm just going to talk. It's okay to talk. But after you say something more than once, it shouldn't be. Because if they don't listen and respect you, how do you think they're going to be able to handle authority in this world? And you're going to listen to somebody in this world that we weren't invited to. You're going to listen. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. You're going to listen. You're going to bow down. So go ahead and keep taking your kids to the doctor to get shot up. And then, see, sometimes these medications don't affect you right away. A lot of these medications don't affect them right away. But give it 5, 10, 15 years from now there's another problem, and now you're trying to figure out, well, what went wrong? Grandma Estelle didn't have that problem. Why is it like this? And it's because those chemicals are starting to break down now. And now you're having side effects. Do y'all really listen to the commercials? They say you might have a condition for breathing. You can't breathe out of one nostril. Well, this pharmaceutical come up with a company to say, okay, well, we done created this drug. You take this drug now, and then the lady on the side at the very end, she'll come in with a light voice. Side effects may include oily discharge in your bowels, suicidal thoughts. Let your doctor know if you have suicidal thoughts. You can have changes in your behavior. That's worse than me not being able to breathe out of one nose. But we trust the wrong people too much. And we got to be accountable for that. Stop letting people read. You have a right. When you go to the doctor and take your children to the doctor, you have a right to get a printout of everything that is inside of whatever they're trying to stick inside of them. You have a right. Really, that's your obligation. You should know what's going inside of your child. I'm sorry. Yeah, you should. You should know. You should know what they want to put inside of your child. Yeah. Sorry. You should know. That's called being responsible. Yeah, it is. Because when last year, matter of fact, took my daughter to the doctor for her wellness, because we don't go to the doctor. We just go because, you got to go at least once a year. So we went, and the doctor came, Miss Brown. Miss Brown. It's time for her to have her shots. She's due for 3 shots. And if she doesn't have these shots, then she's going to be suspended from school by the time she's in the 7th grade. I said, okay. I said, hand me the paperwork. I said, are all of these, is everything in the shot raw materials? Did it come from the earth? Matter of fact, give me the printout and let me read and see what's in the printout. Because they mandate these vaccines where girls have to have it by the 7th grade and boys have to have it by the 9th grade. So I took the paper, and when I started to do my research and looking to see the ingredients in all of this, do you know that it had human cells in it? You know where the human cells come from? Let me tell you. Abortions, selling off different parts. The placenta, when a woman have a baby, that's the most powerful vitamin and nutrients you can have is through the placenta. So imagine what a fresh aborted baby for the heart and for the liver and for the lungs. These pharmaceuticals buy those things, baby. That's why they put it in our neighborhood. That's why we pro-choice. Yeah. That's why we pro-choice. Yeah, Democrats. Yeah, pro-choice. Put Planned Parenthood in our neighborhoods. Bring it on. I don't want no child. I don't want all these children running around my house. Bring it on, Planned Parenthood. Yeah, we're going to get the state to pay for the abortion too. And then what they do is turn around and put them dead babies into your living baby. True story. I'm not making this up. You can research this for yourself. So don't come to me with mental illnesses. Because like I said, I'm not forcing religion on anybody. I don't even do religion. I'm faith. I'm spiritual. I'm faith-based. Don't put me in a box under a religion. But I do serve I am that I am. The God of Jacob, Moses, and Abraham. That's the one I serve. And he works for me. He works for me. And so when he tells me certain things, when he shows me in his word certain things, I take heed to it, because the same things that are written in the book that I believe in is coming to pass. Research, people. It's worth it. This is our lives. Y'all see how they came up with a vaccine within months, y'all. And because most of us are scared, we're going to be the first ones in line. I got a documentary on that too. I think her name was Khalil Mitchell. You can look at her. She's a nurse from Tennessee, an RN. She took the vaccine, the COVID-19 vaccine. She testifies that when she first took it, she was fine. No effects. 3 days later, she got bowel surgery, whatever it is to make your mouth. She's trying to smile, but she can't smile. Do y'all remember the Tuskegee Project? Of course you do. Y'all know when our men come home from prison, they've pumped them up with so much stuff. And they're banking on them passing that on to us. Y'all, let's wake up. I love y'all. I love my people. I love to see us doing good. I love obedient children. But I can't sit down and pretend or just be one of those ones that say, I don't know what's going on in the world. Something said, Kim, you got to speak. I'm showing you these things not for your own glory, but if you love your people, you got to tell them. You got to tell them, even if it means your own life, because you know a lot of people who come out with truth, they wind up ending their life. But if that's what it takes for someone to hear what I'm saying and to start researching and taking their life seriously, I'll do that. I'll do that. I'll do that because I know where I'm going. My soul is already good. I already got my insurance, my policy on my soul. It's already paid in full. So you can't do nothing to my body that God won't allow. And I don't care what you believe in, but the God that I believe in, he said he will keep you in perfect peace, mental peace, stress-free, blood pressure down. He will keep you in perfect peace if you keep your mind stayed on him. Seek ye first the kingdom, and all other things will be added. But we want to do it our own way. We want to live our own way, and that's fine. Do it. But we're going to continue to have issues. We're going to continue to keep dying by the wayside. Blood still, as the scriptures say, blood touches blood. Read Hosea 4. Blood touches blood. That's black people killing each other. We killing each other. We don't need the Klan no more. That's us trusting pharma, big pharma. We can't even sue them if something goes wrong with us, people. If we take a vaccine, if we take anything, any kind of medication, they put into place long time ago where you can't sue them. United States Supreme Court, you can't do no lawsuit. So you sitting up there twisted and stuff, you can't talk, and all this got a bag on. You can, oh well, you ain't getting no money for it. You're not getting no relief. And even if you do get money and relief for it, that ain't gonna fix the problem. So please, keep talking about the little boy needs some medicine. The little boy needs love. He needs somebody to spend some time with him. And he needs discipline. Last story. When I was younger, in my 20s, I had guardianship over my little cousin. I'm not going to say no names. And I went from a 1-bedroom, because it was just me, myself, and I went from a 1-bedroom to a 2-bedroom. In the process of doing that, trying to make sure that this person had a roof over their head, that they were no longer in an abusive situation, showed them love, got their school clothes, made sure it was groceries, made sure they was comfortable. Because the parent of that child would let them do whatever they want to. Actually, the person was pimping the child. And I said, oh no, not my blood. You ain't gonna pimp this one. So I took that person into my home and I treated them with love and respect. And when that child wanted to be grown, I'm talking about like how everybody think it's cute for these little girls to be shaking and bopping and pattering all over the place. She was sneaking boys or older boys into my house through her window. And I was standing in the apartment. You know what I did? I took some liquid nail and I put the liquid nail all through the windowsill and I shut it. And I blow dried it. Yeah, I had to pay for it, but that's okay. That's not the point. The point is, I made it to where you're not going to sneak nobody else up in my house while I'm asleep or while I'm working. And when that front door opens, I will know about it. We have to love our children enough to do that. I don't wish, I pray the very best for each and every one of you and everybody who will see this. Because according to the westernized world, we're getting ready to go into a new year. And if we don't change our behaviors, we ain't seen nothing yet. So I pray that this message will help. And if it's the Lord's will, I think what I'm going to try to start doing is taking topics that affect our community, and we're going to talk about it. I want an open forum because we need to start addressing these issues. It's not okay. It's not okay that my peoples down the street just got killed the other night. It's not okay that my brother got shot in August. It's not okay that little A got killed in August. It's not okay that people are taking their lives. It's not okay that we are killing each other. It's not okay. And we're going to talk about it. I'm going to get back on here. We're going to talk this year. Love will do that. My shirt says, and thank you, Miss Peggy Hill, for giving me this. Get into trouble, good trouble, necessary trouble. And this is by the late John Lewis. If we're going to get in trouble, let it be worth something. If I get censored for making videos that's going to help my people, I'm going to get into good trouble. It's going to be worth it. Be blessed. Do what you think is best. Seek ye first. You need a roadmap. Whether that be the Bible, which I rock with all day, 24/7. I rock with not just King James Version, but King James Version 1611. That's the piece of the Bible they took out before, after the Renaissance, 1928. Do your research. It tells us who we are. Do your research. But I don't care if you do that or the Quran or whatever floats your boat. You need to have a road map on how to live life. Be blessed. May God bless you. May the Most High bless you. And I'll talk to you soon. Okay, so that was a lengthy video. I'm not going to say too much more about it. But like I said, this was recorded almost 2 years ago. This is very relevant to the Jeffrey Dahmer files. This is very relevant to anyone, not just Black people, not just brown people, but all people. Take note. Pay attention. Stay woke. Love you all.